Hi, gonna get to streaming here real quick. Thank you all for coming on. Man, I'm getting this warning for dropped frames, and I don't know why that's happening. That shouldn't be. I'm hoping that that's just the same message over and over. It looks like it is. Oh no. But hopefully I'll be able to get through a stream real quick. Let me get my drawing glove on and get to hoping for the best. Let's hop on in. Oop. Let's see here. Let's do it that way. Get some music going, get hanging out, and we'll be good. There we go. Hi. And that is dark. Let's see if I turn on the light. How bright are we? Turn on just a bit there. Come through, but I've actually got like 3 or 4 different ways to verify chats right now, so hoping that'll be good. Let's hop in. I got some stuff going on. So first things I wanted to do was I wanted to do a Ben 10 stream. It's been a while since, and I got some requests. I'll say. I got some requests about the character. One of which was don't make him rocks. And that really speaks to me because I feel like that's the go-to. So let me, I'm actually going to move this over here. Let me get a basic spot going. So I want to get the, that's not, oh, I'm on the wrong layer. That's why. Let's get the head. Go in. I like that angular, like almost gorilla head, and I want to keep that. I like a lot of the shapes and things going on. One of the things I don't like is the color, and I know there's not much I can do about it, but I'm hoping I can fix it. This is going to be a real challenge, because you can't change a lot of it without changing the entirety of the character, but there's a lot about this character that I don't like. I'm drawing blocks from Ben 10. You can see him over here. Just a design I don't like. And so I'm gonna try and fix it. I'm gonna go in and see what I can do to make it more organic. Even though like the whole premise of the character is that he's not organic. I want to kind of go for the original series style. But oh man, really struggling here. What I want to do, like I know what I want to do, and that's change it completely, but that kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Of doing a restructure of like, what if I change absolutely everything where this is not the same character anymore? It kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm playing within some rules that I don't know. I gotta make it work. Give him a longer face. And just like that, my pen is disconnected. Let's reconnect. Okay, come back in. And I am all ears if there's anything that's like, you know... Oh, you think I may be muted? Oh my goodness. That's completely possible. Hey, I think you may be muted. Oh, there we go. Okay. Great, thanks. And good to see you, Jake. I'm glad that you came in. I'm trying to get the chat hooked up on my phone so that I can see it directly in front of me. I actually have like my computer set up here, my tablet set up here, so I need something directly in front of me, so that I can comment on the chat. And for some reason or another, it's going super slow. It's just not showing me anything. So if I don't respond to something, it's not me ignoring. It's me trying to figure out where you're at, because I can switch to a different screen. Currently, I'm looking at a different screen. I actually have a plug-in. Let me just grab it real quick and throw it on, because I want to be able to talk to you guys. Is the thing. So let me make sure I get that before I do anything else, because I do want to make sure that I can talk. This, whenever I do these drawings, it always feels like it's a collaborative effort. So it's important to me that I get that chat. Let's see here. So I apologize as I try to get this set up. Am I just in the wrong spot? Okay. Hopefully it'll pop up here. I'm gonna move on, continue drawing, and hopefully this this application jumps in, and we can function, because it's gonna be a pain. First off, if my pen keeps stopping working, but second off, if why is my chat not going? That sucks. I've been playing with a lot of plugins, so that could be it. Okay, so we got that. This head's got to be very rounded off. Not rounded off, actually the exact opposite. Whatever the opposite of rounded off is, squared off. I think one thing I'm going to do is that. So something that I was thinking about with this character is, with blocks, is he's very inorganic. I want him to feel a little bit more organic, but I don't want to. I want to make him feel a little bit more organic. But how do you do that without completely making him just rocks or rubble, or doing something that just messes him up? You know, he is his own character, and I want to maintain that. So I don't know. What can we do? There we go. Get my chat popping up. Now at least be able to see you a little better. Hopefully. So if I don't respond to chat, I'm sorry. I'm trying my hardest to. I will just be having to check it every once in a while. But my concept was, what if I go the route of like Mayan or Incan? You know, nothing saying that nothing saying that I have to divulge or divert completely from the source material, but I can try. So if I can get my pen to work, ooh, where's my other pen? Did I lose it? Oh no, it's right next to the other one. That's the one that wasn't working. Grab this guy real quick. Okay. Yeah, I want to make sure that he still has... So, like, he doesn't actually have shoulders here. So am I going way out of the way to give him some? I want to maintain a lot of that blocky body while still getting across some stuff. But like I was saying, Miner Inca, like, it's not so much going like, oh, I'm gonna make him rocks. He's gonna be Lego. He's gonna continue to be bricks. It's just what kind of bricks, you know? The other thing is with these OG designs, I want to make sure that I get that black and white uniform. So there's a lot working against me for blocks as a character. What if I fully just... No elbow, no arm. Fully in. He's so dang angular. Okay. I'll make that head smaller. I always make the heads way too big. I think it's because I want to fit so much detail. And I focus on it, focus on it, focus on it. And then when it comes time to actually placing it on the body, I'm all out of sorts. So we'll do that. And he actually, his like little lump, I don't know if I'm counting that as his shoulder or his forearm. This spot here. I always considered it to be like the forearm. Like it's not on, or not the forearm, the bicep. If I come down here, excuse me, and he has these two big spots here. Kim, one of my... Let's see. But I think the problem was that Omniverse just wasn't long enough. And so when I started to like the character, he very quickly disappeared. You know, the series ended. And so I was stuck like, okay, I didn't come around to like the character enough to where I was like, you know what, he's grown on me, I accept it. I just, you know, I got enough of like, okay, he doesn't suck. There we go. I'm liking that. I want to give him some protrusions back here, but I don't want him to feel just like Diamond Head. I don't think he will. I think I'll be okay. People are upset, they can be upset. See, for me, I keep wanting to dive away from them being blocks, and I'm like, okay, what if I add some lines here? What if I add some here? And it's more this or that, and that's not the premise. That's not the prompt. So I can't. Like, I'm like, what if I make it more techie? Oh, that'll fix the problem. That's not the problem I have to fix. You know? Let's get rid of that so I can see. Okay, how many fingers does he have? Oh, I can't tell that. I believe he has 3. I may end up having to go back and fix it. If anyone in the chat is a fan of Ben 10 and happens to know off the top of their head, please feel free to shout it out to me. And then he's got these little, like, nub feet. I want to keep that. Okay. I think we've got a basis here. Something that I can feel a little bit more comfortable with than what we had before. I like it. I want to see where we go. Let's do some line art. It's something that I'm interested in doing more, which is a good sign. I didn't abandon it. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's the other one. Let me see. Let me take a look at this guy again. Okay. I don't know if he was one of those characters who has like the black outline on his lip. I think I'm going to give him one. I feel like he needs one, or he should have one. Especially if he's got that gorilla look. I want him to have that. Oops. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting there. I'm not really counting that line, but I need to make sure that it stays there. Digging it? Digging it? So you can see I'm actually going wider than I originally decided to with the chin. And there are some things that I, despite everything, I do feel are important to keep. Like the shape on his chin here, I feel like is important. I want that to be a cut in. Because one of the things was in Omniverse, I think that it's just like drawn on. I want it to be actually like segmented. Like if you're gonna go Lego, you're gonna go block, then you might as well go all the way. There we go. Okay, yeah. No. Yeah. Hmm? Yeah. I think, yeah. Some things that are different, some things that are... I wish I would have made the brow bigger. Which I guess I still can. Let me get through and see how I feel about it at the end. I need to make sure that these segments are thicker, I think. That's something that I know is going to bother me. If I don't do the segments thicker, I'm going to get to the end and be like, oh, how come this doesn't feel right? No, because I missed a key component of the character. That's why it doesn't feel right, you dingus. Go. Ah. There we go. Okay. Okay, we're fixing. I think we're fixing. I know some people see there's nothing wrong with the design. I'm just going with something that I did not like. And not liking stuff is okay. Except for when you're in a fandom. Then it's a sin. Apparently. Right, I was doing the shoulder. Like that. That it slid all the way across. I forgot. Okay. These weird angles like this are always going to be the death of me. Okay. Let's do that. Do that. I know I'm doing some angles here on the cut-ins that aren't in the original design, but again, I need to make this work for me. That's why I'm here. That's what I'm doing, is I'm like, I need this design. I want to redesign this character blocks into something that I like, because when Omniverse came out and they showed this character, I remember thinking like, so this is it. This is where this show comes to die, with a Lego character. We're gonna make a Lego character. Sure, whatever. I guess the show's not for me anymore. And I want to like the character. I do. Like I said, I was into, I started to get really into the show. I think the only problem is I would have liked Blocks a lot more because he was growing on me, but they ended the show too soon, you know? I think that's the case, is the show just ended too soon. And I think I could have probably really come to like the character had it continued. So that may be interesting. Maybe the first art stream that you've watched, if you watch a lot, where someone is just talking about how much they don't like the character. Normally you get people who draw stuff because they love the character, they're huge fans. I'm drawing this because I'm like, I want to fix this. I want to like this character. I'm making these very angular because I want them to feel natural. I don't want them to feel like rocks. That was the fear a lot of people had, was he's going to make this a guy made out of rocks. And that's not what the character is. And I understand, that's not what the character is. So I would never do that. I do, however, want to change the character into something that I like. Why am I drawing so far away? I'm really dreading this hand. Okay. I don't know what that is. It's not a hand. Let's just break it down into parts. I really want to say I could do this, but truth is, I gotta do it in parts. Almost like a knot. There we go. And he's made out of blocks, so there's got to be some kind of uniformity to it. But yeah, I'm keeping the blocks. I'm not changing that. That is the character's core concept. The idea of like, just don't make him rocks. I wouldn't do that. I never intended. I will say I saw images of people doing it, and I thought that's a really good fix. But it's not for me. It's not a good fix for me. It goes against what I'm trying to do. I think that's what I'm happy with. Ooh, and I can mimic that shape on his chin. With like the pectorals there. I don't know what that shape is. There we go. Yeah. Where is it on? It's on his chest, so that'll be a perfect spot for it, I think. How's his feet go? Okay, they are segmented in by the thigh and the foreleg, shin, calf. Each one is separated twice, so. I'll do it bigger than that. See, I want variation in how the blocks break and move. Go. Crotch is always the part that kills me. It's not a joke, it's just like honest. I don't know why. There we go. For those of you watching, we are opening up a Discord soon. I'm pretty excited about it. Been working on it with a friend of mine. for a while now, making it work, making it something that functions. So, look forward to that. I don't know how many of you are on Twitch. I know I stream to Twitch and YouTube. And the problem is, sometimes, the problem right now is that I can't see anyone's chats. But normally the problem is I just can't see YouTube's. Oh, I forgot I put these things on the back. I was excited about those. Yeah. It does nothing, but it's something I was excited about. Over there. That's one of those. Oh, this hand's gonna be so easy to draw. Like, that's the premise, right? Is that this is an easy to draw character. You're supposed to be. Oh man, it's either super easy to draw or super difficult. There is no in between with this guy. Like, it's either like, wow, that's crazy angular, I don't know how I'm gonna get that right. Or it's like, oh, thank God that that's so angular. I know that straight on it's going to be a walk in the park. I'm still on 4. Okay, I think we're good. I think I can drop that sketch layer, take a look at him. Pretty happy with it, yeah. I'm not disappointed. Again, I was worried because there's not a lot that I can do. It's a character I don't really care about much, but there he is, and I'm liking it. I don't know if it feels very original series, but I dig it. Oh, excuse me. I want to dull his colors just a bit. I want to mute them just a tad. Because OG was very natural. All the aliens felt organic. It all felt natural. And so a character who's brightly colored Lego-ness doesn't work. And that's the thing. We're trying to make it work. Pretty sure that part of the leg's not red, but we're here. Gotta give your all every time. Yeah, that's hyper yellow. Let's see, we're gonna do yellow here. We're gonna do yellow on the legs. Yeah, I knew that part wasn't gonna be red. These parts I'm going to change the color of, so they're actually going to be black. But all these key parts here, his like crest on his forehead, is going to remain yellow. In fact, I have to go in here and touch it up a little bit more. Okay, and now kind of where's his blue? I want to make sure that I get a lot of these colors close as I can. Ooh, I forgot a yellow chunk there. Oh, not yellow. Almost making Iron Man. These blues are going to be really washed out. There we go. Okay. Let's do this. Kind of regretting it, but it's what's going to happen. I know people are going to lose their minds in the chat. That's not what color that is! It's supposed to be yellow! Yep, I'm aware. We're just playing with some things here. Just playing with some things. Sacrilege. How dare you, sir? I'll check this out. There. I really want to get that uniform, the OG uniform, in there, but I feel like I am desecrating something holy by doing so. Because he's supposed to be colorful. He's supposed to be like vibrant and fun. But the thing is that the OG colors are black and white. I forgot that these were blue, and I lost a lot of blue in that uniform making, so I gotta add it back. Yeah, people are gonna be mad. But we all make mistakes in the heat of passion, Jimbo. Like making his eyes blue instead of green. All Ben 10's aliens' eyes are false. False. I can cite for you many specific examples. I'm not going to. But I could. Such as forearms in the initial run, such as Stinkfly, Diamond Head. They pretty much, you'd be hard pressed to find one that had green eyes. Actually, I mean, even Wildvine had blue. And if you are gonna say all had green, a lot of them didn't even have eyes. Heat Blast, Wild Mutt. So shove that up there. I gotta make these yellow. I like it, the sleeveless look. It looks good. Now we can do the teeth. I actually don't recall him having teeth. So I guess we're adding some. Yeah, I think this character did not have teeth, now that I think about it. Okay. Now comes the fun part. Coloring something that's so drastically angular. Just making sure I got all the highlights here. Yellow, blue, yeah. Yeah, may bring it up a little bit. Now that I've added all that black and white, I feel like I do need to go in and do that. Before I move on to coloring, I want to thicken up these black areas here. Some of them very specifically. Ooh, that's supposed to be red. I'll come back to that. His leg looks very Iron Man. Very Iron Man-esque. That going way off. Okay, let's do some cut-ins here. Feel bad. I feel bad about taking away so much color from this character. I didn't like the color. I didn't like so much that was going on here, but I felt so bad about taking it away. I had to add it back in a couple different ways. It's just way too colorful for me. He doesn't fit the motif of the original show. But I gotta suck it up. So let's start out here. I remember this used to take into account the lines. Before the update, it used to take into account the not just the layer under it, but the layer above it as well. Here it does, that's weird. Are you ashamed of me, Papa? Yes, I am. I gotta erase that one. Do that. Someone's asking me for something in the middle of something else right now. Get in there. Groovy. Yeah, sometimes it does it and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's like, here, we'll give it to you. We'll make it easy on you. Other times just does not care. We're going to make it difficult on you. And I know it feels like it's on purpose, and that's just because it is. the ones that I wanted to make sure I got. Because I knew if I didn't do that, I was going to forget them. Grab that. See, it's not really taking into account the lines. I feel like the previous iterations of Photoshop used to. They would take into account not just the layer below you, but the layer above as well. So it feels weird to me that it's like I have to kind of choose. I'm sure if I just put this one layer up, it would be fine. It would probably take into account both. Like if I put it up here, it should. Yeah, I'm sure it will. And that's kind of infuriating on its own. Whoa, 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 missed a spot. Go, gonna come in here, get this taken care of. I'm really digging it. I am. Like I said, this isn't one of my favorite aliens from the show, but the power was cool. The concept was cool. It just lacked like the imagination of how do you make it feel organic. And it was like, oh, easy. We're going to ignore that completely. Go. Okay. You know, just that idea with the show kind of fell by the wayside. Just kind of went from being like, hey, because in the original series, aliens were kind of gross looking. Like that was the idea, was this is a foreign thing, and it's gonna look not like anything you've ever seen before, and oftentimes that equates to it being gross looking. And that was the idea. But later they were like, oh, what if we make them all look cutesy or like superheroes or like other characters, you know? And for me at least, it really defeated the purpose of the show. Like, if you're going to make them look cutesy, then don't even call them aliens. Make them something else. I don't know. That's just like my opinion. Like, I understand you're going for, especially when they were like, we're going to skew for a younger audience. I'm sure that changed a lot of things. But it was just disappointing to me. Like I get a lot of people liked it, and they were like, you know, and like I said, like I even said, it grew on me. The show's concepts, the designs, everything, it grew on me slowly, but it grew on me. And had it been given enough time, I think it would have grown on me more. But it didn't have that time. So the art style and even the stories, I wasn't fascinated by. It felt very much like it wasn't my show anymore. So, I don't know, just getting to the point where, and I'll say this, I think a lot of shows are doing this. I think a lot of shows, a lot of movies, they're kind of skewing towards the idea of let's appeal to a younger audience. Like it used to be that PG-13 that's where you skew for everybody. That's how you hit everybody, how you hit most audiences. But lately it's children. It's the idea of like, okay, movies are kind of designed for children now. That's why, you know, like the Avengers are a little bit cleaner, and the dirty jokes are like, ooh, can't believe they said that. It's like, dude, did we not have a joke about Iron Man pissing his own suit back in Phase 1? like an Iron Man 2, whichever phase that was. What I like to do is I'll do one at half. I'll do both at half, one with a blue tint to it. Makes it a little bit more fun. Should I do, let me play with it a little bit. I'm going to do a full blue tint. I want to keep some color. I'm going to blur that just a tad. Clear up those edges. Do that. Pop that out. Pop that out. And we're getting there. We're getting to a blocks that I can say that I enjoy. I want to add some highlights to them. Oh, I don't like that. They're gonna go under. They're gonna go under the line layer. And don't worry, I am going to. I'm actually gonna do it right now. I'm gonna phase these out. Ah! I am gonna phase this out just a bit. Where am I? Oh my gosh! Wrong brush, wrong medium. My erase is only doing 50%. Yeah, you know what? I will keep it. Drop that to 30%. Yeah. Yeah! I'm going to go back over these in a second, do some super highlights too, so don't hold your breath. Or do hold your breath, because I just said it's going to happen. I don't know the meanings of phrases. Go. I want it super shiny. I want him to feel like he's a toy. I took so much away from him. The least I can do is keep the vibe in the shadow. Running in the shadow. Hey. Can I do that without it going everywhere? Kind of. What am I at? 3? Let's do 1? No, let's do 2. Let's meet in the middle. I'm digging it. Ooh, he's shiny. I love that. Let's actually make that Not full. Yeah, I like it. He looks like a toy soldier to me. I like it. I think it feels classic. I think it looks like he has a ketchup nozzle on the top of his head. Now that I look at it, he looks like a bottle of ketchup. I'm gonna tell myself that I'm okay with that. Hey. Yeah, I dig it. I do. I dig it. It's like I said, this wasn't a character that I was super mad about, like that I was super excited for, because it's a character I don't like. But I dig it. Let me do some adjustments here. I want to see. That looks just like Diamond Head. That looks like a evil version, Kevin 11 version. That's the Hulk. Wow. What if I do like a purpley, and then I say turn off a channel? I always like to play with the channels and see what colors we can get to. Like that's very orange and very blue. I kind of dig that. I kind of want to keep that. Not all the way, but if I can like do that at 50%. Yeah, that feels a lot better than that super vibrant yellow that we had. I like that a lot more. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's throw on an Omnitrix. And hop on to Vampire, which I have no idea what I'm going to do. I actually, that's one that I've been thinking about like all day. Since I first presented it to that Discord group, like, hey, what would you think of this? Which character should we do? And I got Vampire. I realized like I have not a clue what to do with that. Like, not a clue. And I'm going to have to honestly, I'm going to have to figure it out. I have no other choice but to figure it out. As a DM for Dungeons & Dragons, it's something I've learned is whatever happens, it's not going to be what you assumed. And the best thing you can do is roll with it. You gotta roll with the punches. And that's what we gotta do here. So I've always liked the original Omnitrix, so we're gonna do that. The center is like the brightest of all. Not a fan of how that happened. Okay. We're just gonna come in here. Wipe out a little bit of it at a time. Yeah. Okay. It looks good. I'm down with the sickness. And then I remember that I actually double dutched this one. There we go. Yeah. There's blocks. Okay, cool. That works. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. just gotta. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna post it and just before I move on to the next part here. Cool. Now comes Vampire. Whew. I think this one's gonna be drastically different. I've been thinking about it, and I think I'm okay going drastically different on this one because it doesn't feel like an alien. It feels like a superhero, and that is something that I am very much against with this show. I love superheroes, but I don't know. The show Ben 10 to me it served so much better when they were focusing on them being aliens. So we're gonna go more alien. And I'm going to start by using black ink instead of white. Now, something I didn't like that they did with like a character like Big Chill was that they made him huge. Like his body huge, and that's not how he was. Like they fully reconstructed the body. That's what I'm going to do here. I want to keep some of the same shapes. But we're kind of exaggerating everything. The mask, I don't like. I'm going to try and make it a part of his anatomy. Because even there's like an episode where he burns up in the sun. And it's acknowledged that that's a suit. And I did not care for that. I much preferred when it was their skin and they had like the Ben 10 suit on the outside, but this one was like, it felt like they were trying to make a superhero. Like they were filling out the roster. Oh, Ben has a Frankenstein, he has a ghost, he has a werewolf, but he doesn't have a vampire. We need to give him a vampire. And so it felt like it was thrown in. So we're going to give him a vampire. A proper one. Well, and here's the thing, too, and I get that it's weird about how I feel about this, because I love Frankenstrike. And I know that he's just Frankenstein. I know that he's just Frankenstein. But it's also one of my favorite designs. See here. I don't know what to do with the nose. Yeah, like I said, really drastic redesign here. Those gill things on his face, I'm gonna actually move to the outside here. Yeah, I like that. It's ugly. It's desperately ugly, and I'm glad it is. That's what I was hoping for. And we're gonna go even worse. You're gonna be even more upset. Because I'm giving him the big bulbous body. The same one that they tried to throw my boy Big Chill. I don't know. I still have my phone out. That thing showing me the chat is absolutely not working. I don't even know if the chat's working on this guy, on the stream here. Where do we check that? Cool, just making sure. Let's see. So we have some stuff here. Let's mute other me. Go. Yeah, we're getting there. I just so desperately want him to not feel like we're trying to shove a superhero filter on this. Let's see. Some arms. Give him at least a pair of arms. I'm gonna go short and stubby forearms though. With these long. Like, Vampire is one of those characters I see only working in the Omniverse style. It won't, like, if they do a reboot, I don't see it appearing again. And that's given that I haven't watched the other series, the Ben 10 reboot. I don't know if he's in there, now that I think about it. I'm sure he's not. I'm going to keep those back-ended claws because I think those do exist in... Those types of things do exist in OG series. Okay. And here's these stripes. We can keep the stripes. I see no reason to not. Do a slight redesign on those, but more or less they're the same. He actually has... Because he can fly, right? Yeah, he can fly. So we'll do that. Yeah. My cat walking over stuff. I'm just noticing he has these things on his hips. Did he ever like pull anything out of there? Do those maintain weapons or anything? I've never seen those before. And again, this isn't one of my favorite characters, so I don't pay a lot of attention to him. That's gonna go there. And just so you're aware, this is gonna be the suit. So that will change. Much more Nosferatu. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting somewhere. Let's move them all up. Guessed that perfect. Oop. Thank you. There we go. Oh, whoa, his body's way over there. Okay. Maybe a leggy boy. What do these guys' feet look like? Give me some feet. I'm gonna give him a fin back here, just to match the fins on the rest of the body. Okay. There. Let's kind of shrink up the head a little bit. Maybe a little bit too much. Let's keep the body wide. I'll have to come in and manually shrink the head. I always end up shrinking the heads. Am I drawing my heads too small? Okay. Groovy. Get rid of you for just a bit. Bring that to 1, or not 1, 10%. And let's do this. Let's go in. Go up like that. Kind of dig that. Yeah, I'm still on 50. And I'm still on gradient. Yikes. I'm just all over the place. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm already liking this so much more. Give me a little bit of trouble here. Okay, I think Dr. Anima would have a field day. Want to line that up a little bit better. There we go. Yep, nope. Zips out. There we go. Yeah. Feels a little bit more beastly, I think. How do I feel about that? Maybe I'll leave it for the moment. I might come back and change it. I'm curious what the storyline would be if Ben got Vampire in the original series. If it would be something along the same lines as that that monster arc, or if it would be something completely different. Because I did like how he got him in the Omniverse series. I just didn't like the design. So let's do that. He's kind of like Big Chill again. Like, I know that I'm saying he's like Big Chill a lot, but he is. Like, even in the concept of like his suit, how it's just this chunk of armor on the front. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just how I perceive Big Chill. Because now I think about it, there's no proof that that's what the concept was. It's just, that's how I saw it. And I am going to try and keep the color scheme, by the way. As much as I can. Because, you know, like, obviously I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff, making a lot of changes. So, depending on what is kept and what's not, which a lot of it was, but it was changed. Then we'll see. We'll see how things work. Actually, I'm gonna... Can I do that? Is that too much? If I do that... I'll tell you how I feel bad for it with this art, with the concepts and designing stuff. Is I feel really bad for Crow the artist. If you haven't seen like Ink Tank and their stuff, you should check them out. But he did a comic called 5 Years Later, which is Ben 10, 5 years later. It incorporates a lot of crossover with other franchises of teen superheroes that kind of came out in the mid 2000s. I believe that like Danny Phantom is one of the main key characters, and it's been a while. But I can imagine every time that they reboot the show, they jump forward, they jump backward, and they change the canon. And I can't imagine having like essentially like a job where your job is to try to keep track of that, and then being like, oh god, I have to rewrite it completely. You know, so kudos. If you and the Ink Tank are watching, kudos to you guys. Also big fan. Watched you guys on YouTube for years and followed you guys all the way since, like, if I can say it, it's not a bad word to say DeviantArt. That place has kind of become a cesspool. Yeah, I'm glad that I kept those arm things. I know I had no reason to, but I think they really break up that section. And I'm really glad that I kept these claws. The further I cut these back, the more like unnatural they seem. It feels like. We're fixing you. All right, let's do it. Then let's do it. Then we're gonna keep talking about it. We're gonna do it. Let's do it. Okay. Arm 2. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Keep it loosey-goosey. Bulk him up. I think that's the big thing. The big difference is making him more of this, like, menace, this force. Like, Vampire's cool, but he's like a superhero. He flies towards you and it's like, oh, there's a character. Whatever. This thing flies towards you. Like, that's a monster. You are reminded that he is based heavily on a monster. There we go. I'm really glad that I kept the feet pretty simple because I'm glad that I didn't do anything to distract from the rest of the concept. All right, let's color him in. Gonna be pretty easy. And we're done. No. Okay, and then we're just going to go in and get these highlight areas. So like the green of his mask, which I've now made just a part of his face. His wings. I'm seeing if I closed off everything. I did. Did I close off everything on those? Wow, is it going to be this easy? Am I going to get lucky every single time? No open areas? It's the last one. Darn it. Alright, that's fine. I'll have to come back. That. I don't know if it has music, but it's super peaceful. Come up here. Purple, you say? Just ever so slightly. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. And for the eyes, orange is my go-to. We're going to go a little bit more red. I really like that. Those colors really go. Man, that looks good. Really good. Let's get to shading. I'm excited. I don't know if this is going to look the way I want it to, but I'm willing to try it. Hold tight. We're getting there. I'm actually going to cut out that so I can see a little bit better because I'm coloring over a lot of gray. Yeah, I'm digging it. 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 Yeah, okay. There's a lot going on here that I enjoy. Just gotta make sure I don't screw it up. And for those of you wondering why I'm doing this, it's because I actually learned this technique of shading by doing half and half and then blending upon studying the Pokemon designs, and I really like the Pokemon designs, and so I copied it and was like, well, what can I apply this to? Funny enough, you can apply it to a lot of things. I'm applying it here, for example. The idea is you just kind of create two different levels of shade and then you blend them later. I'll show you here. So I can come in and do that. And it looks like a little bit smoother transition while still keeping some of that rigidity of cell shade. Yeah. The thing is, you just gotta remember to always go back to full eraser. That's why I try to do it at the end, but it's something that I like to show people. I think it works, and I think it's one of those little techniques. Like I said, I got it from Pokemon, and I kept it. Hey Jake, welcome back. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How are you? I know I don't know where you are, but I know it's crazy early. That's something that I know. I know last time you tuned in it was like 5 a.m. Good. That's good to hear. I always love being able to chat with people. It's one of my favorite parts about these, for me, late night streams is get the opportunity to kind of sit and chat with people. It's 4:30 a.m. Dear God. Don't take this the wrong way. I don't envy you. I do not envy you. We had the time change over here recently, and it's kicking my butt. Even just like losing that hour and having to wake up now at what was once 6:30 is now once 5:30. You woke up to catch this stream, Jake. You make me blush. That makes me happy. Makes me feel like I should have been working harder. There we go. That makes me super happy. I'm so glad to hear that it's worth that to you. Yeah, it makes me super happy, man. I'm glad to hear that you caught it. And that nothing's gone wrong so far. Except for that these lines are all over the place. Well, I hate to say, knowing that you're waking up so early just to catch the stream, I hate to say, well, I'll be doing this again on Thursday and Friday, so I hope I can see you there. Also, please sleep. I'm one of those people who I need my sleep, but I very much had to teach myself to need it. I used to stay up quite late, and I was not being friendly to myself doing that. And then I'll take like melatonin in the morning at night too, because I'd be like, I'm not really that tired, so I'll just take this melatonin so I can go to sleep, and it wiped me out the next day. You'll probably be there. I'm glad to hear it, man. You're always welcome. Always welcome. Just don't wipe yourself out. Health comes first. I want to be able to say, well, I'm glad, be there, I need you, buddy. Because I do need you. But at the same time, I'm like, health comes first. I'm going to fix that shading on the chest piece here in a second. It really needs a gradient shade. Yeah, I'm also one of the people that says, your health should come first. Just because I don't treat my body like a temple doesn't mean that other people shouldn't. Fun fact about me and vampires. I took it upon myself to watch the original Dracula this past Halloween on Shudder, I believe. It's good. It's very good. A classic, some might say. A classic it is by definition. Nope, I didn't actually. So you can see the difference. It still remains harsh when you don't do that slight gradient there. How are we looking? Can't say I've ever watched it myself. Yeah, it's good. It's definitely an old movie. For me, like, I like to be the type. I would like to be the type of person who says, I love old movies. Truth is, they're a little hard for me to watch. I've been so babied to get to see so much like big Hollywood blockbusters that old movies just feel old to me. They feel dingy. And I wish that wasn't the case. One sec. This is the song that I always skip because it's partially owned by Disney, I believe. And I don't want to deal with that. I believe it samples Snow White. But like their version. But yeah, I'm not a person, anything pre-2000s is old to me. Oh, for sure. Like even that, like for me, I'm like I don't know. I wish that I could enjoy old movies more. For a while between like friends, it was actually like a running joke that I don't like old movies. And it was something that I was like, I don't like that being said about myself. I would like to like old movies. They're just so dang old. And I can't bring myself to get past that. Get out of here. I don't want you at my feet, cat. You're gonna scratch me. I wish that I could get past it, because I know there's a lot of movies that are really, really good that I wish that I could enjoy. And every now and then I'll see them and I'm like, wow, that looks like a really good movie. It's a shame that I'm probably never going to see it because I am this way. But I watched the original Dracula. Very good. And I watched the original Invisible Man, and then I watched the like Revenge of the Invisible Man, whichever one comes second. So I was trying to make my rounds on like old Hollywood. Good movies, just you do have to get past it. But I'll say, once you do, and I'll blame myself on this. I watched them in passing. Like, I put them on in the background while I was doing other things. So I watched them through, like, peripheral. But I enjoyed them. Like, I enjoyed them enough that, like, after I finished The Invisible Man, I was like, I'm gonna put on the other Invisible Man. Is this an original character I'm drawing? It's not. It's actually a Ben 10 character named Vampire. Here he is here. The show came out, Omniverse, and they introduced this character. I did not care for the design. It felt way too superhero when the show's about aliens. So I'm redrawing it in a more alien look. So I'm attempting to fix something that an actual professional worked on as their job. It's actually going to be this way. And, yeah, because I'm spoiled, like I said. It didn't appeal to me, so I'm like, someone should fix it. And I'm sure that in the Ben 10 community, a lot of people are going to say, there was nothing wrong with it. That's fine. There was something wrong with it to me. And I have the ability to fix it. So I'm going to. For me. And you guys get to be here. To witness me fixing it. But yeah, like the show is about aliens. But as the show progressed and it became more adapted to like younger audiences or more popular structure, they slowly started to like readapt characters and designs. And in the show, there's a planet called Aner Transl. The original one didn't look very appealing to me. Thank you. Thank you. I agree. It's definitely a good design. I'll say that. It's a good design for a different show. And I've said that about a lot of stuff. Like, you know, this episode of the show was great. Had it been for a different show. But, like, yours certainly looks far nicer. Thank you. Again, I think the fact is, like, I had a direction that wasn't superhero. Because in the show, he uses them as superheroes, but the whole premise is that they are not. He actually, like, he gets criticized by the maker of the Omnitrix, which gives him the power, for treating it, get out of here, for treating it like a toy, and, oh, these aren't superheroes, these are aliens, these are true life, and then they went ahead and designed them all to be superheroes. So, it's something that I never was happy about. So, I'm fixing it. La-di-da. But thank you. I appreciate it. That saying that it looks nicer. It's nice to know that I'm not the only crazy person who's like, this should be redone. Because when I posed this to one of the Ben 10 groups that I'm in, which is the name of the show, this was very quickly one that came up. Was, oh, you need to redraw this. And I don't know if it's because people were like, hey, I'm such a big fan of the original style that I would love to see this character in that style, or if it was, this is broken. So, I don't know, we'll see. I did another one earlier, and people had some notes about it before I even started about, like, hey, don't change this, don't change that, don't change this, and don't change that. I get it. It's precious to some people. And for that reason, you know, there are certain aspects of it that you're like, I am a fan of this, I don't want XYZ to change. So I get that. I don't blame them for having qualms about something being changed. I wish that when shows were to say, like, hey, we're going to reboot, they would actually ask their audiences, what did you enjoy? I'm sure they do. It's just no one that I know has been asked. Seems like it's like, hey, what did you enjoy? But they're asking, like, either the wrong people. Like, they're asking, for example, they reboot Ben 10, and they say, we're going to structure this for children, for younger children. Rather than asking people who love the show, hey, what did you enjoy? They ask kids, what did you enjoy about it? And so they're willing to sacrifice one whole group of people for another. It's the exact same reason that D&D OGL stuff happened. If anyone watching kept track of that, because that was a nightmare. Like, hey, we're gonna sacrifice the entire old guard for the potential of a new market. It just, as a consumer and a fan, it doesn't make sense to me. But that's why I'm not some billionaire marketing executive. That's why I draw cartoons on Twitch. Yeah, but children are great for viewing figures, and kids don't generally care for the entire plot of the show. That's true. Well, that's the problem. That's why it's like, you lose so much when you ask, like, the young children, like, what did you like? I like the superheroes. Okay, then we'll make more superheroes. Like, as far as I'm aware, that's why, like, Teen Titans, the original series on Cartoon Network, was canceled because it wasn't selling enough toys because adults weren't buying toys. And they did not expect so many adults or older kids or whatever to be into the show. And so they were like, wow, we're really missing out on this toy market. So we'll cancel the show, start over with everything younger. And so they decided to throw out the whole fan base because of that. We'll throw out the whole fan base so that we can sell toys. So that we can restructure because our mistake allowed people to get invested, and we have to punish them for being invested in the wrong way. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, there we go. There we go. This is coming across really smoothly, and I am digging it. I will probably have to move my my drawing tablet in some way for next time, because if I'm being honest, I am losing a lot of feeling in my hand. Funny enough, like, I would never attempt to shade without seeing the colors. I hear that from a lot of people, but funny enough, the colors get in the way more often than they actually help. At least for me, like, especially this character. So this character is wearing a lot of gray, a lot of dark, a lot of black. And when doing so, I would tend to miss a lot of spots. Because it's like, oh, I'm not going to see it. It's in the dark. It's not going to matter, etc. You know, so I would miss a lot of sections. So I have to cut out the colors. It's far too distracting, at least for me. And that's the thing I have to say as an artist is, since everyone has their own way of doing things, I can't speak and say, oh, well, here's why, here's that. Like, anyone who does draw, the nightmare is hearing someone say, hey, can you teach me? Because what you do and how you do it is, every artist does things the wrong way. I'll say that. It's all broken rules. Because we're all taught one way and then we adapt and figure out what we can throw away that we've learned and what was worth keeping. So this guy, like the shading thing, I turn off the colors because they're far too distracting. Yeah, I agree. Whatever works is whatever works. Okay, let's take a look. See what the actual... Yeah, see. So there's so much gray that I would probably just cut it all out. In fact, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to highlight the gray areas, double down on shadow, and then I'm going to do some highlights. Let's do some highlights. Yeah. Fun fact, highlights are my least favorite part. And it's because I went so that they weren't important that while I practiced everything else, I completely ignored highlights. And so now I'm behind, and when I do them, I'm like struggling. Like, does that look right? I don't know if that looks right. You know, I always thought like, shadow's enough. Why do I need highlights if I could do it all with shadow? You can't do it all with shadow. Highlights are very important. Like, I end up erasing a lot of my highlight anyway, and so for a long time I was like, what's the point? There's no point. You don't need it. No, that's actually a site. Is this your job? No, no. I could not afford to do this as my job. This is my hobby. I work a regular job that's super boring. I do one of those. I always compare it. I say what I do is one of those jobs that's difficult to explain, but is very much needed in the world. If what I did suddenly stopped existing, you would notice very, very quickly. But you don't notice it as it's happening. It's kind of a riddle, what I do. And that's been the joke for forever. It's always been, oh, Stern, he likely kills people. Because we can't figure out what it is that he actually does. And I often refuse to tell people. Because, again, it's one of those things that's like, it's like being the guy who puts the rubber on the end of the shoelace. The aglet. It's not important per se, but you notice. And it's far too much to explain. So you're just like, I do whatever. I work in an office. Incredible skill for a hobbyist. Thank you. It's always been the dream. That's why I started the channels, because I thought, you know, I would love to. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jake. I would love to do this for a job. I would love to do this every day. Wake up, get to draw. You know, do what I like. Be my own boss. Stream whenever. Just draw. I have commissions like crazy, but. Oh, I do that on the side. I do designing on the side. But the thing is, it's not quite enough to pay the bills. You know, it's... Drawing is for me something that I enjoy. It's a great hobby. I've gotten to do a lot of cool stuff because of it. I've published a few books that I've written alongside artists who I'm very close friends with. But to sit and say, this is what I do, and I'm going to sacrifice the time to do so, it takes so much risk. And it's risk that I can't jump into currently in my life. So I do the streaming thing at night and throughout parts of the day sometimes. And if it becomes something, it becomes something. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But that's the dream, right? The dream is to find something you love and try to do it for the rest of your life. Or at least until it stops being something that you love. You've written books? I've written comic books, yeah. So I've got friends who are comic book artists. We're kind of a collective of artists. And I actually went and I competed for speech writing nationally and state. I've won a lot of awards for. This was in high school. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just giving kind of my backstory. I've won some awards for my writing and things, and we kind of got together. And I said, what if I put aside my drawing or my want to be the star in the comic book, and we work together. You guys draw. We'll make this happen. I'll make whatever. I'll write it, and we'll do it. And so I published a couple books. Doing so, actually, we self-published ourselves, and then said, wow, that was fun, and that was easier than we thought. Why don't we become a publisher? And so we did, and we published several other superhero comic books. You can actually find them on my portfolio, thesterninator.com, at least the first couple pages, I believe, because we sold them for a while, and to put the whole thing would feel messed up to the people who actually bought the books. So yeah, we published several books, and I've worked as a designer for a couple different projects. There was a company that wanted to make a get out of here, get out of here. They wanted to make like a Pokemon clone game, and they hired me to do the designs for. I think I did like 80 different designs for them. And since then, I get enough. I get some jobs to do the same type of thing, some contracts to do 80, 100 characters for different projects, and it's fun. It's something that I really, really enjoy doing. But at the same time, like I said, it's not something that I can feel personally the ability to say I'm going to do this and I'm going to quit my day job. I get the phrase, don't quit your day job. So I don't. I stay where I'm at, and I do my thing so I can have money and afford to eat, and this stuff just does the extra, That's more than a resume and a half. Thank you. I'm very much a jack of all trades, but a master of none. That's what I consider myself. But better than a master of one, I think, is the full phrase. So quite the resume, but yeah, I don't say no a lot. So a lot of the jobs and opportunities that I get, I jump on. Give yourself some credit. No. I could always be better. I give myself no credit on that. Could always be better. Like I said, I like to draw, but I'm with a collective of artists where, man, I wish that I could draw as good as those guys. I consider myself the weakest link in that group, and that's why I said I'll do the writing. But yeah, it's fun. We have a good time. But yeah, I think I'm gonna take this picture. I'm gonna post it back to the Ben 10 forums where I talk to a lot of people. That's one of the things that I really enjoy about art is a lot of the communities that I find. Dungeons and Dragons, Ben 10, Pokemon, the stuff that I'm interested in usually has a Discord or a forum somewhere where they say, hey, post art. And I like being that guy who can come in and post the art of the stuff that I love. And yeah, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to post it just like I did the previous one. Don't bat at me. Get out of here. My cat is like all on me right now. Don't post that there. I appreciate you guys for coming. I saw that we had a couple people drop through. Jake, thanks so much for coming in and being a part of the conversation. Very much appreciate you. Go back to bed. Please. Get some rest. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for being a part of this. You can see right now, actually, my little links are coming through. You can watch us on YouTube. I have to go check there, see if we got any comments or things. You can follow me on Twitch. Follow, notifications, stuff like that. I do art stuff almost every night of the week. So hop on in, see what we got going on. Post and say, hey, I'm really interested in this, and maybe I'll draw it. I have a lot of interests, so maybe it's something I know a little bit about, and we can work on it together. But regardless, thank you for stopping by if you did, and thank you for stopping by if you're stopping by and watching the recording. I appreciate you as well. You guys have a wonderful night, wonderful day, wonderful morning, and I'll see you guys on Thursday night at